Welcome back to Let's Talk. I'm Sharaad Kuttan. My guests today, Maya Karin and Anding Indrawani, both stars of Putri Santubong, the Warrior Princess, a production of the Sarawak Cultural Village. It's over. It's at least the stage version of this first iteration of it is over, but it's available online. We were just talking about, okay, like doing it live, and we see a lot of innovation now because of the pandemic. Hybrid, hybrid sort of staging so that it's both online and live. And part of it is about creating a sense of assurance for the audience that they're coming into a space and they're not going to put themselves at risk. What did you see here on the 11th and 12th? Did you sell out? Were there a lot of people? Were they concerned about the pandemic and how it might impact them, Maya?
I thought it was a very nice, healthy atmosphere. It was sold out, and actually there was a lot more demand for live tickets, but unfortunately there was only so many seats that we had, and so we went on with it. The crowd was fantastic. They were very supportive, and everybody was calmly confident. You know, things were put in place properly. So it was a really good initiative by Sarawak Cultural Village to try and do this live and also include any other audience who wants to join for a simple fee of 20 ringgit per device. So. And then, you know, so many of my fans, of course, of Anding's fans and all of the other cast who then sit in Kelantan or Perlis or in Selangor and in Klang Valley and could join us. Even though there were some technical glitches, of course, I will not deny that. So apologies on behalf of the producer as well for that. But the ambition was good. The idea was good. Maybe there's a round two. We don't know yet.
Okay, right. Okay, before we get to the question of where this might go, the Sarawak Cultural Village, for people who don't know, is actually has been the venue for the Rainforest Festival,
Yes.
which I went to. And I love it because it's masses of young people, mostly on tour or driven by the energy of the music, and it's a world music festival. So much energy, and I think that's one of the things you get from a live performance, and the people in the audience, and there's all that. Is there this feeling? And I'll ask you, Anding, as somebody who works in Sarawak predominantly, among cultural workers like yourselves, a pessimism about the future, or is there optimism that we will get out of this, that we'll find a way of getting that level of cultural engagement going again?
Well, as a Sarawakian myself, this is how I see it. If I want to, if you're asking about the potential of Sarawak as being the next hub for arts and culture, well, I must say that Sarawak is filled with the richness of culture and music and such, and hence the Rainforest Music Festival is being held here. But then again, more than that, I think to promote Sarawak on the world map, especially when it comes to culture and music, this Sarawak Cultural Village is the platform, is the medium to promote this, and not just to mencantikkan or to promote tourism, but I think that as a Sarawakian, everyone should be proud of their heritage and also the music and the arts that we have here as something to promote the tourism. Apa nak cakap? Something. So yeah, it's something like that.
My question also has to do with the fact that borders remain closed.
Yeah.
Tourism is limited or restricted,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And I mean, you work in different places. I ask this because I ask this of everybody, and asking them for the last year or so. Galleries have been shut; they're only starting to open. Artists have not been able to practice. Biennales are not happening, or they're happening online. It's all very restricted. It must be a very difficult situation. I know people have lost jobs, right? Are you pessimistic or optimistic about the future?
No, of course optimistic. I know we will. Somehow the human race has that natural capability to overcome so many huge mountains and move them if we want to. Now, when I'm on shows talking about environment and nature, and for instance, I know that the human race has the capability to fight climate change and to fight all these atrocities, illegal wildlife, blah, blah, blah. It's just that where's the will? If we have have the will, we can do this. Anyway, going back to your earlier question on the culture or the lifestyle, of course I'm optimistic, and this is one of the first steps to make people feel inclusive again and to feel part of the part of masyarakat again, and just to be more creative, like you said, and let's not only do it live for the people in the day one, but also anybody who's at home or nursing a baby or just chilling or can't be bothered getting dressed up but wants to see a show or wants to see me or wants to see Anding's biceps, as I keep saying again and again.
Don't objectify it. Okay.
But that's one step, and then later, and maybe we will just continue with this. Maybe we will even say, you know what, we've done this throughout the pandemic, an online streaming version. Why don't we just keep doing that? Because then we can catch even more audience. Why did we only, before this, only orang dalam dewan je boleh tengok before this? We didn't even think outside the box. Yeah. This is the first play in the, I wouldn't say the world, but at least in the region. This is the kind of first theatrical production that's thought, let's not just, let's think further.
Right, okay. And so what's the next step for you, Anding? Not just in terms of Putri Santubong and where it might go, but also for you, are you sensing a greater optimism? Are projects being they're boiling? Somebody's churning. People saying, "Okay, I'm going to put money down," because money is very important in realizing these productions. Yes. What do you feel is happening on the ground?
Well, I think some of the productions are quite. They are thinking twice, because this is going to be a bit risky business when it comes to doing productions post-pandemic. But trust me, it is going to be positive. I'm quite optimistic about the future of the creative industry, not just in Sarawak, but as in Malaysia as a whole. But I can say, knowing the fact that Putri Santubong is the first ever musical, I think, ever staged during the pandemic after so long, and we see that we do have some support and also good feedbacks on the show. So yes, that is when we can gauge what's going to happen for the next future. But I can't say what's going to happen in 5 years down the line. But then I must say that yes, there is a future in this. Even though that we have already been through all this pandemic stuff, but as an artist, let's just hope that it is going to be a brighter future for all of us.
Yeah, I wonder that, because it's also, the industry needs to attract young talent or a new blood, right? And so without that optimism, you're not going to have people coming into this field, right? Your experience in Sarawak, in terms of levels of training and ability to perform, and that, what was the experience like? Did you meet a lot of young people who had the requisite training to carry out these kinds of large-scale productions?
I have to admit, not really, not because of anything, but I was just in Sarawak Cultural Village for the last 3.5 weeks, and I holed myself up in there. I was a prisoner there, basically, and rehearsing every single day and just working with the dancers there. Right, okay. So I met the young dancers at Sarawak Cultural Village, the young people there, training, interns, those that are graduated, but full of fire, full of enthusiasm, full of love for the arts and their dance. Great, bright future. I really enjoyed their talent. I thought that, their dance presentation was good, and just keep polishing, just working together.
Right. Yeah, so what would you say to young people wanting to pursue a career in the arts, who want to become performers, who want to, you are on television, you're also on stage. Would you say to them, this is a viable career, it's a viable option, professional option for them?
It is. But I think because you just have to go slowly but surely. So that's my motto in life, because I've been in the industry for 17 years, and prior to that I even studied in UiTM for performing arts. So I think knowledge is the power. You just have to learn. In fact, we are doing this and we are still learning. We learn new things. I've never done any hybrid show before, so this was my first time. So always bear in mind that this creative industry is not just about glamorous, it's not about being popular and such, but more than that, it's all about learning new stuff, perbaiki diri for a betterment, and try to improve yourself as an actor. So it's a learning process every day, and just to embrace and enjoy the moment of being in show business, because show business is yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
it's fun. It's good
is.
fun, right?
It's
Okay.
fun and super tiring, but
Yes,
that's still fun. You
yes.
tell
Okay, but
yourself.
you have your time off now that the production is over.
Yeah.
You get to buy your kuih lapis and kick back and enjoy stuff. I want to ask you lastly, Maya, about how best to watch this online production, because it's going into a proscenium arch theatre. It's very clear what what you should be doing with yourself, right? You sit quietly, you watch, you concentrate. But at home, or what you watch it on the computer.
Yeah, so in this case, it was a simple fee of 20 RM around the world. So in England, they'd pay like £3 or something ridiculously low. It's per device, so whether it's a laptop or your phone or your iPad. And yesterday I just saw a link or a Twitter thing where somebody put up a screen in their kampong. And then put like macam football match lah, and then the people were there, the friends and family, and they're all watching the whole show for 20 ringgit only. So, but they were just pacak wayang at home in the kampong, and so see, innovative, 50 people can watch and enjoy the show.
And 50 divided by 20 ringgit, that's
like nothing, right? Like
Okay.
nothing. But so going back to the olden times almost, in the 50s when kampong would get together and, oh, look, film Piramli, let's go.
Yeah, that's or a drive-in cinema, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So that's that's how it worked basically. Except again, I have to say there was a actually a positive technical problem, because the demand was so high. We had 100,000 clicks on the first night, and 100,000 people who kind of invaded the website about 10 minutes before the show. So again, as usual, Malaysians or Nusantara, orang Brunei ke orang Singapore ke tak tahulah, all last minute main kan. Isn't that what we're known for? Last minute, okay, semua masuk, semua nak beli. And then of course the website had problems with that amount of traffic, by which I tried to console our producer, who was disappointed, or like, I failed, and I just said, it's a positive problem.
Yeah.
So many people wanted to be part of this.
So there is pent-up demand, and therefore there is something of a future in this, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much, both of you, for joining me on the
Thank
show
you for having us.
and enlightening me about Putri Santubong. I've been speaking to the stars of Putri Santubong, the Warrior Princess. It's a musical production by the Sarawak Cultural Village. I've been speaking to Maya Karin and Anding Indrawani. This is all we have for you on Let's Talk this week. I'm Sharaad Kuttan, only on Astro AWANI.